the cat is let out of the bag because you can see the picture of Nneji there. He's our guest on Artist of the Week. He is the Artist of the Week. Nneji, it's great to have you on Sunrise this morning.
I'm the Artist of the Week.
You are the Artist of the Week.
What an honor.
Yes.
My pleasure to be here.
It's great to have you here at Channels Television.
My pleasure.
One of the memories I have is many years ago, working in radio, way back in Radio Nigeria in those days. And over the years, hearing your music, and then this is 2012, you've been able to run through time and still endure and still have music that is still relevant. How have you done it?
I honestly do not know how I've been able to do it. So that's why whenever I'm asked this question, I attribute it all to God Almighty, because it's not that I have some formula that I've been, applying every now and then. I think it's just God. He's been so kind to me. He's helped me to remain committed to my art, what I believe in, also to remain consistent too. I'm also very much aware of my environment, especially my immediate environment, and that's where I draw my inspiration from. So because I sing about things that people can easily relate with, so I think that's why I'm still able to stay connected to them and stay relevant.
Okay, so when you look at what you're singing now and you look back at what you used to have then, would you say you've moved with the time, or you've just remained true to what you believe and you just do it differently?
Well, I've remained true to what I believe in, but I've also been doing it differently. I've been moving with the times. The way inspiration comes, especially if you're that kind of a person who taps from what's happening around you. Every day is never the same. You understand? So the things I sang about yesterday are probably not the same things I'll sing about today, because my experiences, just as the days change, to weeks, to months, to years, I grow. So certain things that probably didn't matter to me back then matter to me more now. And certain things that mattered so much to me then do not matter so much to me now. So, well, once upon a time I used to be a bachelor. Now I'm married with children. So you understand. So the things that mattered to me then so much probably will not matter to me now. Today I have school fees to pay. I have to pay school fees, I have to take care of my wife, my children. So I think it's a normal thing. We're supposed to grow, and as we grow, those of us who are in arts, we're supposed to let that reflect in our arts.
So how would you describe your kind of music? I know you did Mr. Fantastic, and
yes.
Which, as I said earlier before we came on air, you didn't sing before I got married.
Yes, and I told you that you still have your anniversaries, so on every anniversary you can play Uruka.
So how do you describe your own kind of music?
Predominantly high life. Yes, every now and then I deviate into maybe like pop, into like R&B, but mainly I play high life music. I'm a high life musician. My audience cuts across the young, the old, so my audience is everyone out there who loves good music, who cares about having good music at home, listening to it anywhere and everywhere, doesn't matter, so those are my audience.
Okay, so what have you been up to lately?
Recording, making music, that's a business I'm in. I'm not a politician, so I'm not doing politics. I'm not a lawyer, so I'm not in any court. So I'm always in the studio recording or rehearsing with my band, or we're on the road playing, so it's music business.
You mentioned your band. The Nigerian music industry has evolved over the years. I would want to talk about band, but before I go into that, I'll be quite keen. What's your thought about the evolution of the Nigerian music industry? Because there was a time that some of us growing up, it was the likes of Michael Jackson and MC Hammer and all the people that were foreign. But now you hear the band, you hear Nneji, you hear Nice, you hear even of Wizkid. So it's evolved.
Yes,
it's going international as well.
It has evolved, and we're very happy. at least that this is happening during our time. Before this evolution, Nigerians never really used to appreciate their own. You could go to a party, a birthday party, a wedding party, any party, and all you would hear then was foreign music. If a DJ played a Nigerian song, everybody would go and sit down. But the reverse is the case now. You can do your party all through playing Nigerian music. Nobody will miss any foreign music. So we are very happy that it's gotten to this stage. But it's just that the returns that we're supposed to be seeing, are not coming yet. I believe that they'll begin to come very shortly. The organization, the structures that ought to be in place are not really there yet. We're hoping that those structures, would come as things progress. Basically, the industry is not attracting the level of investment that it ought to be attracting, by now. We hope to that too, in a very short while, will change. When that changes, when things begin to happen, fall into place,
could you put a part of that blame on the artists themselves in terms of plowing back into the industry to make sure that something is done?
But the artists are plowing back.
Are they?
But it's just that businessmen, businesswomen are not investing the way they ought to be investing. Right now, what's happening, everything you're seeing is as a result of the efforts of the artists plowing back. You understand? For you to have like major recording companies, you need some major business people with business ideas coming in. That isn't happening now. But I believe in the nearest future, because people can begin to see the potentials available, they'll begin to come in. When that happens, trust me, this industry is going to change.
Now, one of the issues that's been raised before is the training that we have. We don't have fantastic sound engineers. We don't have people who give the backing that is required for a musician to actually excel both locally and internationally. We don't have it. And that means the infrastructure is not there. What can we possibly do?
It is the investment that will bring the infrastructure. Once upon a time, we had international recording companies here, like Sony Music, like Premier Music, and they had such expertise and such know-how.
The decades of this world.
Exactly, because they had the structures. The investment was there. Right now, we do not have those structures. When those structures begin to come, and that can only come if a businessman sees the potential. Once they come and they put that kind of money down, trust me, if somebody is investing that much, you want to bring the best hands. When that happens, our sound, right now, our sound is, it's competitive, but it's not there yet. Creativity-wise, we're doing great. We're writing good songs, we're making good music, but the quality of the sound is not at that international level yet. When that happens, then our sound will get to that level, and then we can
what happened to us in between? Because there was a time we had the decades of this world, the Sony Music and all those other companies, even Premier Music. What happened? We went through a dip that actually was a massive dip that affected all of them, and they left Nigeria, and suddenly we have a massive gap and hole in there.
Piracy happened. Piracy became resident here in Nigeria. Like piracy left everywhere else and came and settled here. Piracy destroyed everything, discouraged all the investors, major investors, and they all pulled out and left. There's no businessman, there's no smart businessman who wants to be putting money where he can recoup it back. So that was what happened.
Was that why last year you sold the album for like 1,000 naira? What were you trying to prove?
Well, I was trying to make a statement. I was trying to look for. I felt personally that our music was being sold too cheaply. Do you understand? There was no value placed on the music. The empty CD was even more expensive than the CD that had content on it. Do you understand? You buy an empty CD for 100 naira. Empty CD. Now you put music on the CD and it's sold for 45 naira. It doesn't make any sense. You understand? So it didn't make any sense. It didn't make any sense to me as an artist. It didn't make any sense to me as a businessman who wanted to reinvest in the industry. There are lots of young artists out there that I want to sign on. So I was just looking for a formula, something that can make this thing make sense to me as a businessman to invest on another artist. So that was why we tried that. It was an experiment. Well, it worked. It did not work the way we would have loved to, because something is happening in the industry right now. Physical distribution is going down. I think everybody's moving up to digital distribution. So we tried that, it worked, but we realized that, okay, maybe that is not where we should channel our energy and resources. Let us move up to see how we can explore digital distribution. So that is what we're looking at. Yeah.
So we're
The
winding
digital,
down.
the digital world now. How are we tapping into it? Because that's the area that a lot of musicians around the world are tapping into, making sure, is it CD Baby and a number of other websites where you can sell your music, iTunes there.
Yes. We are
What are
tapping
we
into
doing?
We are tapping into it. There are some apps now, just like iTunes, that are coming up, that are being set up. You can actually download the app on your phone and buy your music directly when it comes out. You just pay and download it, and they take just something small from your credit. You understand? So that is the way forward. And when this begins to happen, we have so many phones in Nigeria, from BBs to iPhones.
How much money do musicians make from the ringtones? Because it's quite amazing how many ringtones that you've got.
See, the avenues for the return streams are plenty. More are opening up. You understand? And so that's another. It's something that is a welcome development. But if we are making as much as we ought to be making right now, I do not think so. But we're making something, so it shows that it can always be improved upon.
So if you have a message for the young musician in Nigeria today, what would it be?
For the young
or aspiring
musicians,
musician,
to first discover themselves. It's very important to know who you are. It's very easy for you to get pressured into being someone else because of what is happening around you. Discover who you are. Very important. And then get committed to working on that special thing that you have, taking it to the zenith, giving it your all. Never get to the point where you feel, I think I know it all. I think I can do it all. Never get to that point. Every time you want to make music, make it as if you're making your very first song.
Okay. All right, we will have to wrap up, but before you go, you'll have to sing one of the very best track, whatever you consider as one of your best. We'll need you to sing that, but we'll need to sign up first before we do that.
Yes, and before we sign off, I want to remind everyone that, of course, today is December 1st and World AIDS Day.
Yes, indeed.
So
World
go
AIDS Day.
get tested if you've not been tested. Know your status, and that's where to start from.
Yes, a number of people have mentioned. I'm looking at the messages we're getting on Twitter here. We've got Babatunde Rosanwo who's saying that we must not forget to mention World AIDS Day, and we have a number of other comments on Twitter this morning.
And we'll be talking more about it on
Health
Health Matters in a short while.
In a short while, that's coming live, yes.
So we'll talk more about World AIDS Day and all you need to do to know your status.
Okay.
So that's how we wrap up Sunrise.
All right, yes, that's how we wrap it up. My name is Kaide Akintemi. It's been great having you for the last 3 hours, and we'll be having Nneji, but then before we go...
My name is Yomi Otaibe. So we have Nneji.
Nneji, over to you. One track for us.
So this is how we wrap it up. We're not going to do Ruka. We're going to do lovey-dovey. I want some lovey-dovey. I know on Facebook love, baby love. If you say you love me, show your color. Not take internet to cover to deceive your lover. Because love they show for behavior. Computer no fit take the place of lovey-dovey.